Hey yogi, welcome to class. If you're new here, I'm Rhi, this is Drakey, and if you are returning, welcome back. It is sick to be practicing with you again. It has been a while. Thank you so much to those of you that reached out to me, either on Instagram or just commenting to ask where the videos were. It really warmed my heart. I just went away to do some training and just couldn't manage doing everything. So something had to give, but I'm back. And so the weekly Friday classes are back. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do. It just helps Drake and I to grow. And if you get to the end of the class and you enjoy it, give the video a like and a thumbs up, and leave us a comment, let us know how you got on. All of those things really help with the YouTube algorithm. You're not going to need anything for today's class. We're just going to run through a little bit of a spicy vinyasa practice. So grab a place that you like to practice and meet me at the back of the mat, sitting on the shins. If you know that it's a little bit uncomfortable to sit on the shins, grab yourself a block and pop that in between your feet so that you can sit your bum onto the block and squeeze your ankles into the block. It'll just give you a little bit of feedback, but it'll also just give you a little bit of height for the hips to sit down. And then from here, just let the palms land wherever they're going to, just like up and down the thighs, just to reacquaint yourself with where you like that hand placement. And then when it feels good, allow them to come to some stillness, allow them to just find somewhere to rest. I always say this, but if you are looking for grounding energy, have the palms facing down, have that palm connection to your body. If you're looking for like some energy, some good stuff from the universe, then feel free to turn the palms upwards so that you're in more of a receiving position. Neither is wrong, neither is right. It's just really personal to how you're feeling in this moment. So notice how you're feeling and react accordingly with your choice. Then inhale, draw the shoulder blades up, back and down. Let's do that a couple of times, because a lot of us, me included, are often a little bit forward with the shoulders because of all of our tech living. So just a few rolls here to just try and encourage the shoulder blades to just glide down your back body and kind of find a nice neutral home. If it feels good here, now's a nice time to close down the eyes or just soften the gaze. If closing your eyes is not your vibe, I feel you. So just take a nice soft gaze, maybe down towards your hands rather than having external distractions. Try and root down into the sit bones on whatever the sit bones are on, whether it's the floor, the block, or your heels. And then just see if you can elongate up and out of the spine. Imagine that you've got a perfectly congruent spine, everything just stacking the way that it was intended to in your body. And just sitting a bit taller so you can allow some beautiful prana, some breath to just revitalize you, come into the body to nourish you, and send some awareness to that thought. The breath is always with us, but when we move with it with intention and we focus on it and we move with it, for me, that's when we're doing yoga and we're not just doing a movement practice. So let's tune into that now. Take a deep, long inhale through your nose. Feel your chest rise, feel your belly expand. Maybe you even feel like you're growing up and out of this block or the ground that you're sat on, because that inhale is like an air balloon receiving air. And then part the lips, let it go. Let's use that visual again. On the next inhale, allow yourself to just really inhale as if you are that hot air balloon and you're just having that fire to allow more air to come in. You're really expanding. You're getting lighter, so much so maybe you're feeling like you could levitate. You've really inhaled to max capacity here. Pause when you get to the top of that and then part the lips. Imagine you're blowing out an imaginary candle and just let that go. Two more just like that. I'm not going to guide you, but if the visual helps you with the air balloon and the candle, think of those things now. We really want to think about receiving the air and then letting it go. Whenever you get to the top of your inhale, take a small pause before you let it go. One more together, just like that. Deep inhale. And let it go. Nice. From here, blink the eyes open if they were closed. Clasp the hands, open the clasp, and then just take that onto your chest. So you've got that hand breath connection. Take a deep inhale. Feel as if that breath is pushing your hands away. As you exhale, flip the hands so the palms face away from you. As you do that, start to tuck the tailbone and push through your shoulders. So your upper back is really round here. So is your low back. From the side, you kind of look like that crescent moon. And then deep inhale. Pull all the way up. Allow the drishti to follow your hands. See if you can take your hands back behind you so that your hands just gently come out of your peripheral vision. And then exhale, roll it back down. Really tuck the tail, push through your upper shoulders. Inhale, reverses it. Allow the drishti to follow your fingertips. Send the hands back, challenging the shoulder here. And then exhale, reverse. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Encourage everything to come into the middle. One more. Inhale, lift up, open up. Feel expansive as your drishti rises. Exhale, reverse it. Drishti softly comes down, chin to chest. Maybe drishti is down towards your lap. Nice. From here, lift the arms on the inhale. And then release the grip, release the clasp, and pull your arms down so that the elbows are coming down towards your hips, cactus in the arms. A couple more of those. Inhale, reach it up, let the drishti follow. Exhale, cactus. You can take a little bit of a back bend here, or you can keep a really strict cactus by knitting the front ribs down and keeping the tailbone underneath you. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Imagine that you're trying to like pull yourself up on a pull-up bar. I don't think I can do a pull-up, but like if I could, this is what I'd be visualizing. Inhale, rise it up. Last time here. Exhale, pull down. Maybe even clasp the hands. Pull yourself through up on that pull-up bar and gently release. Have a little shake. Take the fingertips behind you. Deep inhale, squeeze your glutes to lift your butt up off whatever it was on. Just opening through the front body. And then exhale gently, let it go. Come off your block if you had it, and then come forward. Take the hands underneath the shoulders, setting up for tabletop. We're just going to move and groove a little bit here just to get a little bit of blood into the hands and into the fingers. We're on the hands so much in the Vinyasa practice that I just want you to feel like you're getting them really nicely prepared to bear weight. Because irrespective of where you go within this practice, there is going to be weight going onto the hands. And so we want them to feel ready. We want them to feel warm. Taking some circles over the wrists. When you do that, as you do that, I should say, try and knit the belly back a little bit so that we've got a little bit of intensity and we've got a little bit of core engagement. We're not just sort of flailing around, but we're trying to move from the center with some purpose, at the same time shifting the weight side to side. Maybe you want to start leaning into one hand and just letting the other hand come up so you can get that weight moving around side to side. You can even start to flip the fingertips all the way around as if you're chasing a clock. You could bring them inwards. That's going to feel a bit funky maybe. Turn them around and then take them the other way. Just trying to encourage everything to open up a little bit here. Be receiving to the energy that's moving through you. When you get your fingertips pointing somewhere towards your knees next, come to stillness. Deeply inhale as you pull your chest through your arms. Come into cow pose. Exhale, reverse that. Find cat, chin to chest. Tuck the tailbone under. Inhale, pull through, come into cow. Lift the gaze, lift the heart. Exhale, push away, cat pose. Chin in towards the center. Last time here, inhale, shine the heart through the arms. You're trying to really broaden through the collarbones. Exhale, close the heart, hide the heart, tuck in. Nice. Come to come to neutral. Release the hands. Sit back onto the heels. Have a little bit of a shake out with the hands there. That can be a lot. And then untucking the toes, sitting back to the heels. We're going to keep the toes untucked the whole time here. We're going to move through Lalasana prep, or fly-in integration as we call it in Awakening. So I want you to have your hands either side of your thighs, a little bit back from your knees, and just click the hands out one. So we don't want to have kind of the hands turning inwards. We almost want the hands to be fanning out a little bit so that they were more open. This is just going to allow us to access the front body a little bit better. Nice. Grip the mat with the fingers. Take a deep inhale to lift the chest. Gaze goes forward. Think cow pose. Then as you exhale, start to round in. The chin comes to chest as the thighs come into the chest at the same time. We're aiming for full compression here. So we want to get that front hip into full flexion. Tuck the chin. Squeeze the hips into the chest. Hold for 10, 9. Lower the hips if they're high. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly lower on 1. Nice. Have a shake for the hands, maybe a little tap for the feet if that's required. And then from here, tuck the toes under, plant your palms, find Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Maybe you need to pedal the feet back a little bit. That dog might be quite short from where we just came from, so find a stance that feels good. Nice. From down dog, lift the right foot high, 3-leg dog. As you exhale, send the right foot to the outside of your right hand, drop the left knee down. Inhale, take a side body twist here, open up to the right, let the right arm reach back. Drop the left knee down, press into the left hand. And then exhale, right hand back to where it came from. Inhale, come up onto fingertips, lift the back knee off the mat. Send the chest forward, rocking backwards and forwards here. Trying to get a little bit into the left hip flexor. You want to really feel that you've got kind of hold of your back left foot, so you can really engage through the back left big toe. I'm not sure why I've said back, because we've only got one left big toe, but you know what I mean. Make sure you can rock forwards and back and really feel the left big toe. Now we're going to take a few pulses here. So lowering the left knee and then lifting. Try to keep the hips pretty neutral here. So we don't want lots of hip movement. We want to try and stay so that the movement is coming more from the leg moving in the hip joint rather than just the whole body moving to make the action happen. Hold at the top here. Plant the palms. Step the right foot back to meet the left in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, bend the knees deeply and push off the toes. Roll forward, find high plank pose. For this first one, drop your knees to the mat, look long. As you exhale, lower and rise. Squeeze the inner thighs together there. As you send the weight back towards the butt, drop the forearms, look forward. As you inhale, drag the body through your arms. The elbows have to lift here. Push off the hands. Find upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling over the toes. Come back into Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg will rise to the sky, 3-leg dog. As you exhale, that left foot will journey to the outside of your left hand. Drop the right knee down. Inhale, open up to the left this time. Take the twist. Allow your drishti to follow. Keep sending the right hip down towards the mat and forward. Keep pressing into the right hand. You want to feel long here from the right shoulder all the way to the left fingertips. Exhale, gently place the left hand down. Come onto spidey fingers. Come onto the fingertips here. Tucking the back toes under, lifting the back knee off. We're just going to rock forwards and back again here on this side. You can take the hands a bit further forward if they need to, if having the hands under the shoulders just isn't working. Plug into the right big toe here this time. This is the one that's just going to give you that full connection from the top of the thigh bone all the way down to the foot. We'll take the pulses again here. So lower the right knee and rise. Lower and rise. Again, the hips are going to move, but just imagine that you're turning and lifting and lowering the thigh within the hip socket. So I like to think about this as like one of those old-fashioned switches that they had on radios or TVs where a little thing sticks out and it flicks up and down. Nothing else moves except the actual flicky switch. Do you know what I mean? One more of those. Lift the knee high, drop the palms, step left foot back to meet right, come into Ardha Mukha Svanasana again. From here, lift the heels, bend the knees, ripple forward into high plank pose, send the chest and the gaze long, drop the knees, squeeze the glutes, exhale, lower and rise, send the weight backwards, butt to heels, drop the forearms, look forward. As you inhale, you're pulling your chest and your body through your arms, lifting the elbows, pressing into the hands, finding Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Nice job. From here, right leg rises, 3-leg dog. As you exhale, right foot outside of right hand. Drop the left knee down. Inhale, open up and take the twist again. Keep pressing into the the left hand so you can grow out of the right shoulder and really reach through the right fingertips. Nice. From here, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. As you exhale, the right hand is going to swivel underneath the left shoulder. All 10 toes are going to turn to the long side of the mat. You might want to readjust the feet here because they're not likely to be in line. Fingertips to the mat here, forward fold. Let everything just hang heavy for a moment here, but the only kind of cue I want you to focus on is turning the heels out slightly so the toes slightly turn in, and then just rocking forwards and back. Just having a little bit of weight transference here. Like an energy exchange, you know, you like go into the tiptoes and you kind of receive, and then you come back and you settle into the heels. Just that little almost experiment of how far forwards can I go, how far back can my heels catch me. Nice. From here, plant the hands underneath you. We're going to come up onto tippy toes. So almost like a handstand press preparation. Don't worry, we're not trying to lift our feet off unless obviously you have that in your practice. It's a little bit early for it, but you know, if the feet lift, awesome. So have the hands underneath the shoulders, have the feet roughly in line, so you might need to pull the left foot back under you a little. From here, roll onto the tiptoes, come as high onto the tiptoes as you possibly can. Arms are fully straight here, we're pushing the ground away. We're here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, gently lower the feet back down on 1. Now see if you can come just into a little bit of a more connected wide leg forward fold. Again, maybe you're playing that exchange of energy again, rolling a little bit forwards and back, but this time really engage through the inner thighs. Try and fire on the adductors. See if you can spread the sit bones. Even in the fold, we can still work to be sending everything away from the body. Engage Ujjayi breath here if it's in your practice, that Darth Vader-ish sound. And then gently lift the gaze, walk the hands back underneath you, turn back towards the top of the mat, plant the hands, step right foot back to meet left, come into high plank pose. This time on the Vinyasa, we're going to keep the knees lifted, but obviously you can drop them if you'd like to. So take an inhale where you are, exhaling, we lower and rise for the full push-up. Drop knees, send the weight back, drop the forearms, look forward. As you inhale, pull your chest through your arms, press into the hands. Find Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Push back, downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Left leg high to the sky, 3-leg dog, deep inhale. As you exhale, send your left foot to the outside of your left hand, drop the right knee down. Inhale, take that twist again here, opening up to the left. Think about being nice and long here, pressing through the right hand and reaching through the left fingertips. Tuck the back toes if they're not. Lift the back knee off. Slowly start to feed your left arm underneath your right armpit, swiveling to face the back of the mat. I'm going to face the correct way for you. So all 10 toes are facing the long right side of the mat here. And again, you can really straighten out the feet if you need to. I'm always a little bit like that on my mat. I like my feet in line. No requirement here. We're just going to let the head hang. Just find a little bit of that energy exchange again, rocking forwards and backwards. Notice that sometimes you'll go too far and you have to really engage through the whole body to keep yourself. Or maybe you never push that far. Maybe you always err on the side of caution. Just notice where you are in that spectrum. Sometimes it's good to push. Sometimes it's good to come out of comfort zones, and other times it's good to know when to be in the pocket and to stick where you are. So just something to think about here. Maybe not just through this practice, but just through your day. Perfect. From here, plant the hands underneath the shoulders. Again, really gripping the mat with the fingers. We're going for that press preparation. Take a deep inhale. Start to roll onto the tippy toes. Come as high onto the tip toes as you can. And then slowly exhale for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and gently lower the feet back down on 1. Maybe you want to take the feet a little bit wider this time, but make sure you've got the heels turned out, toes turned in. Maybe you want to just let yourself hang, walking the hands through the legs just to send you deeper into the forward fold. Your choice. You can come onto the forearms. Think about squeezing through the inseam of the legs here. As you do that, we're spreading through the sit bones. Nice. Come up onto tiptoes, come up onto fingertips and slowly walk all the way back. You've got your left foot towards the top of the mat. Nice. Step the left foot back to meet the right, high plank pose. Exhale, lower and rise for the vinyasa. Drop the knees, push the butt back, drop the forearms. Inhale pulls you into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. From here, right leg will lift, 3-leg dog. As you exhale, right knee comes into the chest and step forward, right foot to right thumb. From here, press into the hands. Really press the hands to dome the back. We want to create a window here so that we can lift the foot off. Lift the foot off, hold the knee into the chest. Really squeeze here. Don't let the knee go wide, try and keep the knee middle. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Keep doming through the chest. Arms are straight, fully locked out. We're pushing. And then from here, exhale. Send the right leg all the way back up. 3-leg dog. Exhale, right foot to right thumb. This time, drop the left knee down. Inhale to low lunge. Clasp the thumbs. Send the hands backwards in your Anjaneyasana. Try and pick up from the low belly. Send the left thigh down, feeling long, feeling open. Exhale, the hands meet the mat. Tuck the back toes, work to straighten into a modified pyramid, lifting the hips and working to straighten through the right leg. Pulling the right toes back towards your right shin if that feels available. Inhale, replant the right knee, the right foot, and rise up into high lunge. Exhale, hold a position. Maybe go a little bit deeper. Maybe you want to bend through the front knee a little bit more. Exhale, plant the hands to the mat. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift heels, bend knees deeply, ripple forward into high plank pose, send the chest long. Exhale to Vinyasa. Lower and rise. Drop knees, send the butt back, drop the forearms. Inhale, pulls you into upward facing dog. Exhale, waves you back into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, the left leg will rise. 3-leg dog. Drive your left knee into your chest. Come up onto the ball of the right foot. As you exhale, left foot to left thumb. Try not to lift the hands here. Really press into the ground. Now you know what we're doing. We're trying to fire up the front hip. So get the hip flexors working for us. So press into the ground. So if you've got the connection here between your thigh and your chest, try and make a gap. So push the ground away here, really doming through the upper back. Nice. From here, squeeze the thigh into the chest, picking the foot up. Try not to drag it and squeeze in. Don't allow the knee to go wide. Hold it in the center. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Fight for compression here. And then exhale, gently send the left leg high. Whew, stretch it out. Inhale, step the left foot to the left thumb. Again, try not to lift the hands. Drop the right knee down. Inhale rises you up. This time, hook the opposite thumb. So hook whatever thumb is natural and then redo it with the other one. Inhale to lift the chest. Pull the thumbs apart. Pull the hands apart. Try and lift up out of the low belly. You're really working through the shoulders here. Exhale, hands, frame the front foot, tuck the back toes, work to straighten into a modified pyramid, work into straight through the front leg. Plug in the left toes back towards the left shin if that feels good. You really plug in the left thigh bone back into its socket. Gently plant the left foot down. Inhale, rise into high lunge. Exhale to find the position. Maybe that's sending the arms back a little bit and having a bit more of a bend through the right knee. Keep kicking through the back heel here, engaging through the glutes. We're not just hanging out here. This is a place of effort. Exhale, hands to the mat. Pick up the left foot. Send the left foot back to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Lift the toes, bend the knees, ripple forward into high lunge. Send the gaze long. Exhale, lower and rise for the push-up. Drop knees, send the butt back to the heels. Drop the forearms. Inhale, pulls you up into upward facing dog. Exhale, sends you back. Downward facing dog. Awesome stuff, yogis. From here, look to the top of the mat. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump, feet outside of hands. Inhale to active squat. Lift the heels in the active squat, stay low. So the hips do not lift, it's just the heels lifting off the mat. Feel everything shake. Then come to stand, stay on the tippy toes. I know it's tough. Reach the arms up, lift the drishti on the tippy toes. Exhale, hands through the center line. Come back into active squat. We've not let the heels go down once, or maybe we did, but then we picked them back up. Then plant the hands to the mat, look long. Exhale, step or jump back. And Vinyasa. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. For the next few rounds of Awakening A's, we're going to take a 5-count journey to the top of the mat. So if you are not yet, jumping and holding for 5, that's totally cool. I want you to take 3 hops. If you're not jumping at all, that's also totally cool. I want you to gently and slowly step one foot outside one hand and then the other. Super control, action coming from the hips. So there's something here for us all to really try and hone in on, whether that's the slow step forward, the 3 hops, or we're trying to find a little bit of hang time. So from here, you can step the feet in a little bit if you're jumping, and that makes it a bit easier for you. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump, feet outside of hands. For 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Feet outside, hands. Come into active squat. As you exhale, stay in active squat. Lift the heels. The hips don't rise, the head doesn't rise. We're just staying here in the pocket. Lift the heels higher. Imagine you're a ballerina. I'm sure they'd look more elegant than this, but just imagine. Hold here. Then bring the hands into the center of the chest. Squeeze your glutes to rise. We're still on the tippy toes. Really rise high here. Click the inner heels in towards each other. And then inhale to rise high. Holding everything as it is. The gaze is the only thing that's changing. The arms reaching up. Slowly as you exhale, stay on the tiptoes. Start to bend the knees. Bring the hands through the center line. Back into your active squat. As you exhale, plant the hands. Look forward, step back or jump back to Vinyasa. Beautiful effort, yogis. Meet me back in downward facing dog. Beautiful. 5 count to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Step or jump, feet outside, hands for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Gently. Feet outside, hands, drop the heels. Inhale to your active squat, really sending the arms forward. Think about where you are in space as you exhale, lift the heels. Lift them nice and high here. Nothing else changes about the position. Hold here. Your ballerina. Inner ballerina engaged. And then slowly exhale to stand, hands into the chest. Keep the heels high, yogis. You've got this. Squeeze the glutes. Inhale, slowly lift the gaze. The arms reach up. The hands reaching as high as the heels. And then exhale, hands through the center. Slowly start to bend the knees. Stay up on your tippy toes. Heels are high, spirits high. Exhale, hands to the mat. Here, if you'd like to, you take the knees to the back of the triceps. Find Bakasana crow pose. Totally optional. And then everybody, Vinyasa. Dropping knees and forearms, pulling through into upward facing dog. Exhaling back. Downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Let's do the madness again. From here, a 5 count journey to the top of the mat. Go now for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, gently. Feet outside, hands, find active squat. Exhale, everything in the active squat stays the same. It's just the heels rising. We're on the tippy toes. Slowly start to stand. Engage the glutes here. Stay on the tiptoes, fight for it. Tuck the tail ever so slightly to give you the lift. And then slowly as you inhale, reach the gaze up, reach the hands up. The drishti follows the hands, Urdhva Hastasana. Slowly start to bend the knees, the hands are coming back down. Drishti is following, stay up onto the tiptoes. The feet might be on fire, mine are too. And then exhale, gently plant the hands. If you want to, the arms are going to hold the legs for Bakasana. This can just be something you skip, no problem at all, but everybody on the exhale, Vinyasas. Dropping knees and forearms, coming into upward facing dog. Exhaling back. Downward facing dog. Amazing effort. Let's keep the intention going. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump, feet outside of hands for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet outside hands. Inhale to rise into active squat. Exhale, the heels will lift. Really fight for it here. Slowly come to stand. Really reach the heels high. Exhale, lift the hands high. Rising up, Urdhva Hastasana. Gently bringing the hands back through the center line, squeeze the glutes. Stay onto the tiptoes, fight for it, yogi. Come back into that raised active squat. And exhale, hands to the mat. Knees, triceps, knees. Might be a little awkward, it was for me. Just acknowledge it. If you're there, heels squeeze in to the butt. And everybody, meet me back in downward facing dog. Exhale, push back. Downward facing dog. We've got one more of these jacked up awakening A's, yogis, so stick with it. You're doing awesome. Inhale, lift heels, bend knees. Exhale, step or jump, feet outside of hands for 5. We're going to try and land on the tiptoes if you're jumping with me. 4, 3, 2, on 1, on the tiptoes. Coming straight into active squat. Hold here. See if you can send the thigh bones wider. Can you reach the heels just a little bit higher? Everything's shaking, I hope. Exhale to stand on the tippy toes. Tippy toes, just like we were right at the beginning of class. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, on the tiptoes. This is so tough for me. I hope it is challenging you somewhere, yogis. Exhale, slowly, back into active squat. Keep the heels high. I know everything might be talking to you. It certainly is with me. And then exhale, hands to the mat. See if you want to take the crow pose one last time here. If you do, stay for a moment. Stay for 2 moments. And then gently exhale, Vinyasa. Or of course, skip it. Everybody finds downward facing dog. From here, look to the top of the mat. Lift the heels, bend the knees, step the feet to the hands or jump them and find your way onto your backs. I'm so hot and sweaty. I hope you are too. I'd like to blame the fact it's a warm day here, but it's not that. The flow just cooked me a little, so. Drive the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze. Have a little bit of passive compression here. We've been playing with a little bit of active compression. Let this be passive. Allow a few moments to maybe let the arms fall out, the feet to land, the knees to knock in towards one another. If that all sounds like a good recipe for relaxation, go there now. Cook it up. When we say cook it up, we might mean cooking up some really soft, effortless thing. Not my version of cooking, which is quite intense and chaotic and easy to get lost track in time. All those things might have happened there in that little sequence, but we made it. Have a little moment here for your heart rate to descend. I think it was much easier for us to get our heels to descend back to the mat than it is to slow the breath down, slow the prana down, slow the blood down. Just use a few moments here to make that a reality. When you're ready, plant the feet roughly hip distance. Let the right knee come into the body and then take the right ankle across the left thigh, just setting up for a really gentle reclined pigeon here. Of course, you know your practice. If there's variations of this that are a little bit more intense that sound good to you, by all means take them, but you've done enough. So if this just wants to be a nice soft reclined pigeon, then let it be. Let it be enough. Revert back to your thoughts earlier about when we were rocking forwards and back onto the feet in the wide leg forward fold. Are you always going a bit too much? Are you always pushing it to the edge? Or do you sometimes sit a little bit too back? This is a great place where I want you to reassess what your answer was. So if you're always pushing, maybe now is the time to just chill and just let this be a very relaxing posture or a restorative place. But if you're always sitting back, maybe you want to have a little bit more intensity here. And if you think that you're perfectly balanced, then I absolutely applaud your efforts. And you can be in the middle somewhere. Stay here, or if you'd like to take a gentle supine twist, let the right foot come towards the left side. Maybe press a little bit with the left hand into the right thigh, and then gently looking towards your right hand. And just unwinding here, yogis. Not asking too much of yourself. Letting your efforts be enough. Letting your motivation to practice at home, online, be enough. And let whatever happened throughout the practice just be what it was. Now is the time to allow that to dissolve. Gently unravel whichever twist you may have ended up in and let the right foot plant down to the mat. Drawing your left knee into your chest and letting the left ankle go across the right thigh. Whatever variation you took on the right side, it would encourage just for pure equilibrium attempts to do the same with this leg. So maybe you're just gently going to stay here, putting a little bit of pressure into the left thigh to open up the left hip really gently. But wherever you went on the spectrum, feel free to go back there now. If you'd like to take the twist, gently let the left foot seek the right side of you, maybe looking towards the left hand. You might want to gently press the right thigh away from you with a little bit of force through your right hand, but not a lot, not much is required here at all. It's just an unwinding, an unfolding, a coming back. Notice how your heart rate feels now. If it started to just come back down, breath maybe getting a little bit deeper, a little bit longer with every inhale and every exhale. And then gently unwind all of that, yogi. Let the left foot come back to the ground. Find yourself into a shavasana. Any shavasana that feels nice here is good for me. You could even reach the arms up and overhead. If you were doing a lot of the jumping and holding for the 5 count jump, it might feel nice to take the arms up and overhead. I find it flushes that out really well. But of course, you do you in your shavasana. Gently allow the gaze to soften or the eyes to close completely as best serves you. Maybe you just want to open the jaw really wide and then gently just allow it to come back to wherever it naturally would go. So not trying to close it tight, but just sort of finding neutral. Like we're always aiming for with our spine. Maybe just see what neutral feels like in your jaw. Gently lift the head off the mat. Slowly tuck the chin slightly. It's not a big tuck. It's almost like you're trying to make a double chin. Just a little bit of a pull back. And then let the head replant. Just trying to find a little bit of length through the back of your neck. Start your process into your Shavasana yogi. Start that journey however it looks for you. Let the breath go completely. Don't feel like you need to hold it. As always, yogi, we won't stay with you for a full Shavasana, but invite you to stay for as long as you can. Allow your body to rest. Allow heaviness into the body. It's done lots of work. As always, it's an absolute pleasure to practice with you. Until we meet on the mat again, have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.